Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an FV207. It's a tier 8 British SPG. It's located on the north spawn of Prokhorovka and it's under the command of Mighty Dwarf 36. Yes, he's in another battle on Prokhorovka, this time in the British SPG. Well, it's based on the Conqueror. Never actually got built, but let's see which gun he's actually handling, because this Arty can carry two. Oh, he's got the 6-inch gun. Yes, that's 152.4 millimeters. So his reload time is 24.24 seconds. He's got an alpha damage of 700 and, well, fairly decent blast radius as well, 8 meters, which is comparably bigger than some of the 152 millimeter Artys you find on the Soviet line. Okay, just centered the arc. It's a good arc, actually. You can see the gun mount actually allows the gun to swivel. Even though the vehicle remains stationary, you can actually fire over quite a wide arc. And that's something that you see on the M44 and other Artys with turrets. Right, over on one side of the battle, he can see a Batchat 12-ton making his way up to the center line. Decided not to shoot for that because he's got a better target. A Waffenträger auf Panzer IV has made his appearance. He's gone up the hill, but unfortunately he's been spotted by a black dog who's hiding in a bush further to the north. Okay, he's still got that problem, I'm afraid, where tracers are not showing on my PC for certain games. I think it's down to the Aslains mods that I'm getting. They do appear if I go into safe mode, funnily enough, but they just don't appear during normal battle. Obviously, we do use the mods to see the countdown for the ability to shoot, plus, of course, the time of shot, how long it takes to shoot over that distance, as well as the aim timer, which is very, very useful to know how to get accurate shots. Direct hit 257, 259, non-penetrating shot. Remember, it's 700 alpha, so that's definitely a non-pen. Over on the hill, oh, it's very bad news because our FV207 is about to be mugged by a whole bunch of enemy tanks. He didn't last very long. The Emil was tracked and took her around for 252. Unfortunately, Mighty Dwarf just gave away his position by knocking that tree over. Hopefully the enemy Arty wasn't watching, but he's backing away from that spot to try and fire from a new position without getting counter-batteried. Object 257's coming to view again. He's almost dialed in, lining the shot up, but changes his mind. We've got an IS-22 on the other side of the battlefield. He's just dialing in, lining it up, rounds out. IS-2 tried to use that wreck for cover, and it actually worked against him because Mighty Dwarf was able to work out where he was headed and therefore was able to get an accurate shot on target. Unfortunately, we have lost some tanks on that side. We've lost another tank, a Progetto. Object 257 again, he's loaded. Very quick reload with the 6-inch gun. It tracked him, but didn't actually do any damage, I'm afraid. Oh, we've got a T10 as a Guardian. Not a troll. Okay, now we're guarding our own cap period. Skoda's gone right in there. He's in a very unsafe position there as well, because it means that the enemy tanks are going to be the other side of the railway line, proximity spotting him. But just look at that, we got two tanks together. Thank you very much, we'll have that. Oh, and no damage for either of them, even though the shell landed right next door to the Object 257. Russian bias, I'm afraid. One Russian tank, one Chinese tank. He should have got at least 200 damage off each of them for that shot. But he's dialing in again on the 257. Rounds out. This should hit. All he gets is 36 hit points. I really don't believe that. That's Russian bias. That is definitely Russian bias. The Wizzy 120 actually is a one-shot. I don't know if he spotted that. He's still going after the 257, but he could take the 120's gun out of the game Rounds out in the 257. Direct hit for 108. As something I also recommend to a lot of Arty players, if you see one tank with very low hit points on him, do go to get that one out of the game as quickly as possible, because with low hit points he's a splash kill, and if you can take an enemy gun out of the game, it will give your guys some relief. Okay, he's lined up. I think he's aiming for the Rex, but the enemy tank might be in the way. We didn't see any result there. He didn't get the kill. Lined up on the AC, but instead is going for the 257 again. No, changes his mind, goes up to the north. Keeps changing his mind. Unfortunately there he got a big reticule bloom because the vehicle moved. Going for the 257. Rounds out. Direct hit. And again, very low roll for 90 because it hit heavy armor on the front of the vehicle. The whole team is being pushed into this corner, but that E75 is a one-shot. A splash kill. All he needs to do is put a round near him and he will expire. The HE will be enough. Rounds out. Yep, he's gone. That's his first kill. Now, another thing you can notice about Mighty Dwarf's players, he does relocate. Not always, but sometimes just to throw the enemy off because they can't see it coming from the same spot every time. It will make a difference. Okay, the 257 is now a splash kill. 124. Put the shell near him. He should expire. He does. That's his second one. Now, there are a fair number of the enemy tanks are getting low on hit points. That one's not. That's the Lorraine 40 ton, but he does have paper-thin armor. So he would actually seriously suffer if Mighty Dwarf could put a round near him. Looking to the south, there's an Object 704 down there, but nobody spotted him. The Waffenträger Aufpanzer fears moving to down the road, but I would say go for the Lorraine. We know his general vicinity, and Mighty Dwarf's got plenty of shells, so he can keep pumping rounds at that Lorraine until the Lorraine suffers severe damage. And the Lorraine is coming to sight again. And the 704 is finally coming to sight as well. Line him up. Rounds out. 190 again, low roll, non-penetrating. That Lorraine 40 ton is getting dangerously close. We're actually one tank down now, but it is into the end game. Plenty of targets for him still to shoot at. 704 and Lorraine. I go for the Lorraine. He's really close. But the 704 is a juicy target. That's it. Lines up. And another hit. Makes him on one shot. Oh, and the enemy Arty's now worked out where he is. In fact, it's not very difficult for the enemy to work out where he is because, of course, they're all boxed into that small area in grid square A1 and A2. And so, yes, the Lorraine is firing where he knows his teammates are reporting enemy fire. Well, the Lorraine's gone. Or rather, the Lorraine 40 ton tank's gone, not their Arty, that is. AC-48's next. He's using the rock at the centre. Line him up. Rounds out. Oh, yes! That one hit his rear, and it's a high roll, non-penetrating shot. Or was it actually a high roll? No, it's 304. So that's actually a low roll. But it certainly hit his rear, which does make a big difference. So the scores are now even. Both sides have an Arty. Well, in fact, actually, the enemy team have two Arty. We only have the one Mighty Dwarf. I suspect that we do have a slight advantage because they have two Arty. Most of their hit points will be in the Artys because we haven't been doing counter battery. They've lost the AC-48. The T-25 pilot got him. And that means that the only tank that's actually fighting us right at the front, or spotting us, is that IS-22, last seen at the centre line near the railway line. The Arty are in the south. They're dependent on his spots. Our T-25 Pilot 1 is the one who's going out spotting for us, and he's in the bushes on the second ridge line. We should say the first ridge line from the west, I suppose. Well, one of the ridge lines in the centre. They indicate the Arty might be in the bottom at K1. It's possible. Given the situation, though, I think it would be a very good idea for all of the members of the team to move south as quickly as possible. Use the west side of the map and that decline to get as far south, because if the enemy Arty are down there, they're going to find them very quickly, and then they can get rid of them, and then the IS-22 is going to be isolated. Now, something else that I didn't realise, but Mighty Dwarf 36 is actually platooned with the T-28 prototype. The prototype's got 1 kill, Mighty Dwarf got the 2, but there's still 3 on the table, so it's still possible they could get a brothers in arms. Though I suspect that the T-25 Pilot would probably want one as well. Okay, they're still pinging the map. Yes, it's the T-10 who's pinging the map, because he was probably killed by one of those Arty and saying that's the direction it came from. Of course, we've got no tracer to see at the moment because the enemy can't see us, but that T-25 Pilot could be spotted very, very shortly. So look at the minimap, and the moment that little light appears next to the vehicle, you know they've been seen by the enemy. Nothing yet. It could be they've relocated. It does look like that now. Okay, Mighty Dwarf's indicated on the minimap where he's going. He's looking in that direction, tells his team, communicating with his team. So important, actually. In fact, so important that some of the other Unicums and content creators have been actually talking about communicating with other members of their team in some of their videos recently. It's something that Arty players have been doing for a long time. We use the targeting key to actually tell people where we're looking, and also when we're actually running short on ammo. When we've got to the enemy cap area, we're not capping. They've avoided it because they're looking for the enemy. And they found one of the enemy Artys up on top of the hill. It's the M40, M43. He's making a run for it, and that shell's going to be fairly close. It stuns him. But we've lost sight of him. That's the 2-minute warning. I think the T-28 prototype is capping. Yes, he is going into cap. With 2 Arty in the enemy team, though, they will probably try to get a reset. He's got enough hit points to sustain at least a couple of hits, but ideally we don't want that to happen. Mighty Dwarf could try and cap as well. In fact, in some battles like this, I'm very much inclined to actually go to the cap myself. But we found the other Arty. It's the Lorraine. That's the one who tried to kill us. And he dies very quickly to the T-25 Pilot, which means now there's going to be no brothers in arms for Mighty Dwarf and his T-28 prototype teammate. $1.8k of damage, which is a pretty reasonable game. And that's the second siren for 1 minute. We are capping. So long as there's no reset. There's the M40. He's been spotted by the T-25. We're lining up a shot. Rounds out. And it disabled him. Will the T-25 Pilot be able to get the kill? Yes, he does. And that means now the IS-22 is isolated. It's the only one. There he is. He's been spotted. He's heading towards the cap. Trying to get a reset in time. But he is the last of the enemy. And it means he's going to take damage. Lining up. Rounds out. Direct hit, 239. We're about to cap out. And that's it. He capped out just in time before the the IS-22 could get the reset. Too late. So that was a victory. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it's the first Ace Tanker for Mighty Dwarf in 36 in the FV207. And we can tell it's the first because he's got the scrolls underneath. You only get that the first time. He managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 14. And he got a Confederate medal because he hit more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other teammates. His win rate for the game was 3,831, which is a very decent score. Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, when it came down to it in the end, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That actually went to the Object 704 on the enemy team with 2,953, but he didn't pick up the high caliber, so I presume it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool in total. But he did get 2,442 hit points of damage from that game, which puts him in 3rd place on damage because he was just beaten by that 257 as well with 2542. When it came to kills, it was actually shared between the Waffenträger Aufpanzerführer on our team and the T25 Pilot 1. They both got 3 kills apiece, and Mighty Dwarf managed to get 2, so did the 704, and only one member of the enemy team, their IS-22, managed to get 2 kills. The rest of them only have 1 apiece. When it came to base XP, it was Mighty Dwarf, and that was mainly because he actually did manage to get a lot of stun assist, or some stun assist during that game, and he got 1,082 base, 1,000 went to the T25 Pilot 1, and they were the only 2 players who managed to get over 1,000 base, 797 to the Waffenträger Aufpanzerführer. He fired 19 shells, got 10 direct hits, no penetration, 19 splash. Damage of 2,442 hit points, of which 2,318 were up more than 300 meters. He also received 1 hit by way of splash damage from the Lorraine 15551, who was obviously seeing all the damage that was going on in that area, lobbed a shell in and actually managed to just catch the edge of Mighty Dwarf as he was repositioning his vehicle. 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 killed, and 2,130 hit points of stun assist off 17 stuns. That's why his XP was so high and why he got the Ace Tanker. On a free-to-play account, he earned 33,206 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply, took away a profit of 6,243 credits. He got 1 bond for getting the Confederate, and 1,082 base XP, times 5 for the first victory, 5,410 altogether. So very nice actually, because they were being bunched into that little area in grid squares A1 and A2. It was making it very uncomfortable for the entire team, and it looked like the enemy were going to win, but they beat themselves to death against the guns of the team who managed to, especially Mighty Dwarf, who managed to put in some very good shots towards the end of the game to actually cripple them, make them one-shots, and then allow their teammates to take them out the game. So well done indeed. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.